let's see. I'm gonna turn my sound up. Is that up? Okay. Hello. Let's get myself organized here. Get my computer all plugged in. How is everybody? Gotta go to here. So, it's Wednesday, or at least in this part of the world. I'm not quite sure what it is over in, say, New Zealand or whatever. All right, there's the live. Okay, and now I have to turn the sound off so I don't echo. And now I can see what you guys have to say. So, hello, Manamana. How are you? Do 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 do. Manamana. Do 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 do. Okay, so I have some new merchandise. I'm wearing my Destinations Chronicles t-shirt, and that looks backwards. It's interesting. So I'm wearing my new Destinations Chronicles t-shirt. I also have this, the mugs, and I even have, although I haven't gotten one yet, it's still coming in, but I have face masks that say Destinations Chronicles. So that's all coming in soon. Stickers. And I just spilled coffee all over the coffee table. I wonder if that's why they call it a coffee table. So, I have, hi Sky's Fallen, how are you? I'm seeing some little green men, or the equivalent, they're actually silver, but how you doing? And what's everybody doing today? Here in California, we are in hot fireland. There are fires everywhere, but today, for the first time in a couple of weeks, I can actually see the hill across from me. So, you are? Skies are falling, you are what? You doing okay? Is that what you're saying? Okay. I still have some sound here, so I'm gonna have to, there, it's gone. All right, let's jump in, and we'll do some travel news. On the upside, Hawaii is opening up for international tourism starting September 1st. So that's like, today's the 26th, so about a week from now. On the downside, Southwest will no longer be disinfecting armrests and seat belts between flights. I think that's probably not a good idea. I think I won't choose to fly with them, but I'm not really flying much right now anyway. So, that's what's up in travel news at the moment. Let me ask you guys, how do you guys feel about, let's see, how do you guys feel about traveling in airplanes? Yeah, right, Manamana, it's not a good idea at all. And I just, I don't think I want to be traveling in airplanes right now. It just, so, and even if I did want to, if they're not going to be disinfecting the parts that other people touch, now I realize they're saying that you get most of it by people breathing and the moisture carrying the virus. But what if they, go like this, and then they put their hand on their seatbelt, and, or they cough, your seatbelt's right here, you cough, the droplets could go. I don't know. If it's clean, maybe. But if not, then no. Yeah, I'm going to stay home. I know, I'm a big Disney fan. But all these people that are going to Disney World, I don't know that I would do that. Now, here in California, Disneyland isn't open. So it's not like it's even an option for me. But I keep watching all my, friends who do videos that go to Disney World, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm in my 60s and I have asthma, so, I'm just kind of hanging back. I'm doing things where there aren't that many people around, things like camping, and we don't go to, like, camp spots usually. We're, like, BLM off-grid and stuff like that. Or kayak camping, where we're taking the kayaks out and we're not at a campsite. So, I'm just going to sit back and wait and see, because, what with, things rising. That's not a good idea. All right, so here we have, I say I have 5 in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like button. Help me out with that. All right, so it's time for Would You Rather. Travel Would You Rather. This doesn't seem to be standing as tall as it normally does. There we go. How's that? Okay, so the first one is, would you rather never suffer jet lag or never gain holiday weight? So, would you rather never suffer jet lag? Hi, Elf Lord's Journey. Yes. Taking a break from your art? Okay, so we've got that question out there, but I've got some things to show you guys. So, those of you who follow me know that my dog passed away last month. And Elf Lord's Journey painted this beautiful picture for me. And it looks just like her. What a fantastic job you did. I just can't get over how you captured her. A friend of mine who, when she was in rescue, had taken care of her. And when she saw that picture, she goes, it is Jade. It's just like Jade. So thank you, Elf Lord's Journey. I've also got some other mail. I've started getting mail, and I'm really enjoying it. I got a card from David and Lindsay from Desmond's Donders this week as well. I'm just like getting lots of stuff in the mail, and I'm enjoying it. And Desmond's Donders sent me this wonderful sticker, and it's going on my car. And then he also sent me a card that says, it's like a business card. Okay, so we're back to the questions. And I'd like the extra pounds, so yeah, I can guess that you're just never jet lag. I have never suffered horribly from jet lag. I'm a little tired, but I can usually, yes, Desmond's Donders is wonderful. I can usually bounce back getting there. But coming home, it's like pulling teeth to get up the next morning. So, yeah, it is a nice sticker. I've ordered stickers, but it hasn't come yet for my channel. And I've ordered cards for my channel. So, it's only been a couple of years. I'm finally getting my act together. Yes. So, I don't have anything in the chat here, but at the end of the stream, I will put where you can go if you want to order anything. I'm keeping it kind of limited. Some of their things are kind of pricey, and I don't really want to make a big profit off of everything. You don't like to fly farther than 6 hours? Yeah. For us to Hawaii, it was only 6 hours because we're in California. That wasn't a bad flight, but Cancun, oh, that was just forever, ever long. And then, it was hilarious. They served us, this was back when you had knives and forks and everything on airplanes, way before, 9/11. They served us something, and it was this white thing, and I turned to my husband and I go, is that chicken or fish? And we're tasting it, we don't know. And we're just like, well, maybe it's just us. And then the lady across the aisle leans over and she goes, is this chicken or fish? So, airline food, you can't always trust it. So, okay, so we have probably, yes, not gaining any weight. I'm pretty sure that's, I'll handle the jet lag, but yeah, the weight gain, I like to go someplace and I like to eat a lot of the food from the area. So, you're gonna put on the travel pounds. Okay, next, would you rather question. Would you rather be stuck on a 7-hour delay or show up the day before your flight by accident? So that would be kind of like a wasted trip. You're all ready to go and no, your flight's not till tomorrow. Or would you rather be stuck on a 7-hour delay? At least with the showing up the day before, yeah, at least with the day before, you can go, okay, go home and you can do something else. You weren't planning on doing anything other than sit on a plane anyway. But with the 7-hour delay, you're just going to sit there and sit there and sit there. One time on a flight, I believe it was one of our trips to Hawaii, the plane pulled out, didn't get all the way onto the tarmac, but it was starting to pull out, and all of a sudden it stopped. and they had a problem with the air conditioning, and we sat there for several hours while they tried to fix the air conditioning. That was not fun. So I'm picking the day before. Let's go the day before a cruise. Waiting is not, no, and I'm ADHD too. I don't know if you can tell because I bounce around from subject to subject. But yeah, it's waiting is not good. Although nowadays, with your phones and you can play games and stuff like that, at least you've got that. But back years ago, when I went to Cancun, and I think even when we had cell phones on the couple of times we went to Hawaii, but they were like the little, flip phones, and they didn't have, games. Well, they had games, but it was like little black and white dot things, and so you at least have a little more to, keep your mind off of things. But no, I'm picking the day before. That's my choice too. Okay, one more in the would you rather. Okay, so you are on a trip. Would you rather eat only home food, but you can't try anything else, but it's all home food, like from your favorite restaurants here in the United States or here in your hometown or whatever, or would you rather eat only local dishes? So that, still bummed we canceled our Maui trip. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've flown into Maui, but I've never actually done Maui. We've done the Big Island, Kona, several times because my husband's a flooring contractor, and a lot of times they'll fly California contractors out to Hawaii to do floors because the local guys are good at putting floors in, but you know what? As soon as surf's up, they're out of there. So a lot of the people who are from California prefer to fly in local contractors. So, and a lot of the Californians live in, there's a place called Waikoloa, but they call it Waikafornia because absolutely everybody in that little town is from California. So, anybody else? Do we have only local? I love to try new things and may never get a chance again. Yes, exactly. That's how I feel, Manamana. And I've eaten some pretty odd and scary things, like crickets and just various things. What did you gotta have your priorities. Exactly. If I'm going someplace, I better immerse myself in it. I don't really want, I don't like all-inclusive packages where you're in this compound. It's like, well, you could go to any hotel in the United States and it's exactly the same. I prefer little ones that are off the beaten track, and that's just my preference. But I do know some people. My dad, we went up to Canada. It was when I was in college, so it was like a bazillion years ago. And my dad, we got up there, and we're in Canada, okay? We're not talking about some strange country. And he's eating, he's like, I don't like this foreign food. And I'm like, foreign food? What are you talking about? So yeah, he would be one of those that he just wants to eat the hometown food. So that's where we are with that. Let's see, we've got 4 people in here. So I'm assuming I'm one of the 4 because I've got my computer over here because I can see what you guys are saying better on the computer. So I guess I count as one of them. So there's 3 of you in here. Yeah, Elf Lords, Phenomena, and something Skies Fallen. Yeah. I know, Phenomena, you're in Canada. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Foreign food. And then we were at Victoria, and we did the Bouchard Gardens, and he's all, he could not get, what's this tea thing we're going to? Why are we having tea? And there's food at the tea. It's not just tea. He just didn't get it. Couldn't get it at all. So, hey, Mama Mud Mower from Talladega, Alabama. Roll Tide Roll. My brother-in-law is from Alabama. In fact, one of my favorite Christmas gifts I ever got him was one of those things that holds your license plate on the back of your car. And yeah, it was a Crimson Tide. It said Roll Tide. So, yeah. So, anyway, we just finished doing Would You Rather, and we're about to start in on travel trivia. You love Victoria's, stayed in town and walked all the way. Yes, a friend of mine who was from Canada said, "Oh, you have to go to the wax museum." My dad, or was his dad or his grandpa, I think it was his grandfather, helped build that wax museum. So we went to the wax museum. So I've been to the wax museum there. I've been to Victoria Bouchard Gardens, and I think we only stayed a couple of nights. But that's it for me for Canada, and I really would like to do some more. So be right back. Gonna put a little one on for a nap. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If my granddaughter, the little one, doesn't get her nap, oh, she goes ballistic. She's required. I'll keep my phone on. Thank you. Okay, thank you for leaving your phone on. You're still in here, you're just busy. So, we're doing travel trivia. All right, so what is the scientific name for the Northern Lights? The scientific name for the Northern Lights. You probably heard them called that before. Hey, Furball Kim, how are you doing? Good to see you. We were just talking about some things, Canada experiences that I had. And now you walk in, and you've missed them. So you'll have to go back and watch it later. Yes, the Aurora Borealis. Very good, Elf Lord's Journey. Aurora Borealis. And for Kim, and for those of you who didn't see it, when my puppy Jade, she passed away, Elf Lord's Journey did this beautiful, I guess it's not a painting, I keep calling it a painting. It's colored pencils, right? Is that right, Elf Lord? Yeah, I think, I'm not quite sure. I think Borealis is Borealis, but I knew what you meant, so you got that one. You're soldering? At first I thought it said you were soldiering, but no, you're soldering. What are you soldering, Kim? You working on your drones right now? So, oh yeah, it was colored pencils, yeah. I've done some colored pencil stuff, and I enjoy doing colored pencils because the shading is much easier to get little fine things than painting, for me. You're working on a drone. Oh. So is there going to be a Roger Palooza, Kim, this year for just the Canada people, or are you guys skipping that altogether this year? Yes, I thought that was watercolor background. It's very beautiful. It really is nice. You guys, this is such a beautiful, beautiful picture. And it really does look like my baby Jade. Doesn't look like it at all. Oh, this COVID thing is just getting in the way of life, isn't it? I'm planning on a camping trip to add to some of my journeys in September. I'm waiting until people get into the whole, school started, but people are still doing stuff. Okay, I don't know if you see this, but it's going away. So yeah, we're waiting, but we're going to do a camping trip. We're going to go up over the pass. Usually when we go up over the pass, we turn to the left and go into Nevada, but we're going to turn right this time, and we're going to go down to Mono Lake. And I'm going to do some filming there. Mono Lake is like a salt sea, and it's really beautiful, but it's I'll just save that but we've got that. And then we're going to go down to Lee Vining and turn to the right and do Highway 120, which is northern Yosemite. Oh, the Oregon coast, yeah. Oh, the Oregon coast is beautiful. I went to college in Portland, and I used to skedaddle on over to the Oregon coast all the time. My favorite place is Cannon Beach, but there are lots of beautiful places all up and down that coast. My ex-husband and I spent our honeymoon on the coast, and it was really well. We got married in January, and so when we got there, all of a sudden it started snowing into the ocean. It was really, really strange. I guess it didn't bode well for the marriage, did it? East side of the sea area is beautiful in fall. Yes, and we do that a lot. Well, and I like to catch the colors going up over the passes. So yeah, the east side is beautiful in the fall. So we're going to then get on 120 and go through the northern part of Yosemite. Now, it's not the part of Yosemite that you always see everybody down in that valley with all of the things like that. This is along the northern part of it. It's actually in the county that I live in, the northern part of Yosemite. and we're going to hit a bunch of different campgrounds there. So, and we're going to test out. When my husband retires, we're going to trick out the van with a bed and a kitchen and everything. But he's still using it for work. But we're getting a mattress, and we're going to test out the whole van life thing to do this trip. And I think my buddy Jen and Chris are coming with us, so that should be fun. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here is our second travel trivia question. On which Caribbean island can you swim with pigs? High country is 10,000 feet. Yeah, at the highest point on R108, it's 9,500, I want to say, almost 10,000 feet there. But yeah, when you go over to like Yosemite, it gets higher. So, on which Caribbean island can you swim with pigs? Now, I remember seeing a video, and these people are going, what is that? What is that? It's like, are these dogs swimming out to us? And some pigs apparently had got left on an island, or had escaped and swam to an island or something. And they got used to whenever the cruise ships or the little touring boats would come out, people would feed them. So they got to the point where they'd just come out and swim on out. So anyway, does anybody have any guesses where we are? Gone with the Winds did a video on that. Oh, I don't know Gone with the Winds. I'm gonna have to check them out. Yeah, it's quite a phenomenon. I never did it when I was in the Caribbean, but it's on my to-do list because I love pigs. I used to have a pig. Her name was Alexandria. So, okay, the island is the Bahamas. The Bahamas. You can swim with pigs in the Bahamas. Okay, number 3, Trace. We have, what percentage of the world is water? Now, if you're like 1% off, 2% off, we'll give it to you because, I mean, it's kind of specific. But what percentage of the world is covered in water? We're not talking about, the crust and the lava and all that stuff down below, but of the surface, what percentage is covered in water? You got it, Elf Lords. I said I'd give it to you if it was right. It's 71%. You got 70%. You got 2 correct answers. Good for you. Okay, drinking out of my Destinations Chronicles mug. Okay, so yes, 70% is covered in water. So, you know what? They have those saline stations that can, my hair's bugging me. It's doing weird things. Saline stations that can purify water. And I'm wondering why they don't do that more. You're back, yay, phenomena. I usually suck at trivia. Well, you're doing great today. See, it's travel trivia, and so that's probably your forte. That's probably your forte. Yeah, and then, they also have, here in California, we do a lot of alternative resources. I think 20% of ours is solar, which makes sense. We have lots of solar. Some is geothermal, and now they're working on doing where they capture, they put this thing in the ocean, and then the waves, because the waves never stop rolling, the waves start coming in, and they generate. And then, of course, there's wind generation. You go through the hills to get to San Francisco, and all along these huge windmills. And a friend of mine was on a bus one time and they were coming through, and there was this British guy, and he goes, "What are those?" This was back when they were first coming out with them. So my friend is kind of full of it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, this is where Lockheed tests airline propellers, so that to make sure that the airplanes are safe." And he goes, "Oh, bloody American ingenuity!" And then he got really ticked when he found out that it had nothing to do with airplanes. So yeah, my friend was a bit of a character. Okay, now it's 4. Travel trivia number 4. The Temple of Emerald Buddha and the Grand Palace is in what Asian capital? You saw a bunch of mills up in Washington State by the Columbia River. Yes. Oh, that's a perfect place. When I lived in Gresham, which is an outskirts of Portland. We lived right off of the Columbia River, and we had this big, like that glass door that you see back there. We had one of those, and it faced the direction of the Columbia River. And when the wind would blow, and these weren't little tiny curtains. These had those weights at the bottom that fly up in the air. So we had to put blankets against them in the wintertime to hold the curtains down. Okay, so somebody guessed Thailand. Thailand, yes, it's in Bangkok, Thailand. Very good. Who guessed Thailand? If it was, it was Elf Lord's Journey. Guess what? You're really, really rocking this one today. Yes, it's in Bangkok, Thailand. So I guess you guys can all be grumbling that the Elf Lord is hogging all the good answers, huh? Okay, yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, the wind off of Columbia River is ginormous. A friend of mine lives in Troutdale. And, little tiny fact, I don't know if Kim's still on here, but I went through ground school, but I couldn't afford to do a whole lot of flight lessons, but I did do a flight lesson once out of Troutdale, which is right there along the Columbia River. And I was really good at flying the plane, but taxiing and on the runway, when you're taxiing, you're not using the steering wheel. You're using your foot pedals, and there's a little bit of a delay in foot pedals. So yeah, so if you go like this, it takes a little while, and then you go, I'm not going, and then all of a sudden you're going too much, and then you go like this, and then you go too much. So I never got the hang of taxiing, but I was pretty good at flying. Taxiing and landing and stuff, that's kind of a little more complicated and out there in your lessons, and I never got to that point because it was expensive. Let's move on. Which country, sailboard capital, the Dalles. My ex-husband was from the Dalles. There was a little place, I can't remember the name of it, in the Dalles, that made vanilla cream Cokes. Now, it was almost, I still to this day, I crave it. You'd take a Coke, and it had to be Coke. If you put Pepsi, it just didn't have the same reaction. There was something to do with the bubbles. And then you put some of the, some vanilla, not the kind that you cook with, but like the Toriani, the stuff that they put into all the fancy coffees and stuff. You put the Toriani vanilla, and then you'd put heavy cream in it. And it would froth up and bubble up, kind of like an ice cream float, but you didn't have ice cream. And that they were in the Dalles. I wish I could remember the name of that place. Oh, it was so incredible. Anyway, so sailboard capital of Oregon. Now that I did not know, but back when I lived in Oregon, I don't know if people even sailboarded. I think that happened later because I'm ancient. So, okay. Number 6. What is the national dish of Mexico? The official national dish of Mexico. It's not what Americans eat, not what's popular here, but the official national dish of Mexico. And my mouth is watering because I love Mexican food. I kind of joke and say that my kids learned to cook Mexican food in a Mexican prison, but it's true. We used to do a lot of volunteer work down in a Mexican prison, and I would put my kids into the kitchen with the cooks. Nachos. Nope, sorry. That one you didn't get, but you can guess again. It's not nachos. That's more actually, yeah, exactly, ha ha ha. And everything in Mexico is regional. So there are places that you get one thing that they've never even heard of on a different site. Like when you go to Cancun or Cozumel or those places down there, they're in the Caribbean. Their food is a much more exotic, a lot more Caribbean style food. And then when you go to Baja, a lot of the things that people think of as Mexican food are from Baja. Like fish tacos. That originated in Baja. That originated in Ensenada, where I've spent a lot of time working the Mexican prison there. So each region has its own food, but you will, when you hear it, you most likely will know what this is. Or do we have any other guests? Any other guesses? Fajita? Oh, I love fajitas. Yeah, nope, that's not it. That's not it. Let's say that, I mean, it is a dish, but it's also used a lot as a condiment in other dishes. It's mole. Mole is the national dish of Mexico. My husband is a big mole fan. Oh, he could just eat mole for days and days and days. And I keep a little jar of it in the fridge. And, you know, like I said, it is a dish. There's an actual dish of mole, but it's also a condiment that you put in other dishes. So, okay, here is the last travel trivia. And it's personal to me. And I think I'm going to tell Elf Lord, I know you're from around here. You don't get to guess. I'm sorry. You've got all those other ones anyway. What is the state flower of California? What is the state flower of California? And I will give a hint in case those of you need a hint. The witch in The Wizard of Oz said this word when she wanted to put everybody to sleep. They were out in a field. What did the witch from The Wizard of Oz say when she was trying to put Dorothy and her friends to sleep? Of course, it didn't work on the Tin Man because he's tin, but everybody else fell asleep. No, it didn't work on the Scarecrow either because he was made out of straw. But then the Tin Man started crying and he rested himself. It was the flower that the witch was saying when she tried to put people to sleep, and it's California State's state flower. I'm seeing, yes, Elf Lord, it is orange. It is orange. And it grows wild here all over the place. If you go down over the Tehachapi's in spring, all of those mountains are just absolutely covered. It's like a blanket of California poppies. Now, there are lots of different kind of poppies, but the California poppies are small. Yes, Paul, you got it, poppies. You probably said popped that up there earlier, because I have noticed there is a delay. So I'm going to give it to Furball. Even though I'd said it out loud, I'm thinking possibly his answer popped up late. Yes, it is the California poppy. So that is it for our trivia. I want to know, is anybody going anyplace? Woohoo! Yes, yay, Kim. Is anybody going any place for any end of the season travels other than me? I'm taking that camping trip. Do any of you have like a last minute thing that you're going to do, and are you going to go away from people, or are you just going to tough it out and say I'm going to XYZ place? Any of you have any places you're going to? The fall is when I like to do a lot of my traveling for a couple of reasons. In the summer, everybody's out and about. Everybody's going places, and it's really busy. The fall is nice and the air is clean, not with COVID, and you have 150 acres. Yes, beautiful acres, Kim. I'm so jealous. I've got a half acre of blackberry vines. You're going to the coast? Yeah, I almost chose that one, and then I thought, I'd be using way more gas, and if I stick to the northern part of Yosemite, that's like I said, in the same county that I live in. So, it's an area that I haven't done as much. Yeah, you travel in spring? Yes. I do like the spring, but I found that for me, the fall, you can tell what the weather's going to be because it's going from hot to cool. In the spring, you get all that rain, and you can plan something, and it's like, oh no, I don't want to go because it's going to be raining or something. And but it's also the last bit of free time that I have before winter, and I'm a ski instructor and I work full time. So I generally, in the winter, it's like, it's like, okay. So I'm getting those last little bits of, we did do Genoa City. That was my last video, was Genoa City. When we went up to, favorite place of ours is Carson City. And we went to Carson City because we used to bowl on a league. And my husband he overbowled. When you do something too much, he was on all sorts of leagues. Hoping yes, I bet you're going to go to Idaho. That would be really cool. I'm sure Val would be so happy to see you. But my husband just overdid it on the bowling, and I dislocated my elbow. And it's my bowling arm. So, I'm like, I'm not bowling. I could throw the ball and my arm would go flying with it. So I didn't. So we hadn't been bowling in 10 years. And my husband wants to get back into bowling. And here in California, all the bowling alleys are shut down. And I can understand that. Can you imagine trying to keep all those bowling balls clean and all the stuff in the little holes, and then people putting on rental shoes and other people sweat and stuff? It's like, bleh. But we have our own equipment. We have our own balls. We have our own shoes. And so we decided we're going to go up over into Nevada because their bowling alleys are open. We're not touching anything that, that other people are touching. And I'm really impressed with how Nevada, at least in Carson City, everybody wore masks. Nobody complained. They were all in masks. There were high school students riding down on their bicycle, and they had them on when they were riding their bicycle. And I'm thinking, you know what? No one, you're not close to anyone. I take it off when I'm riding, but no, everybody was doing that. So it was pretty good in Nevada, and we went bowling. Idaho is beautiful, especially the Sawtooth Mountains. We were supposed to go up to Idaho this summer. In fact, I was going to stop by and see Val, and because a friend of ours, the lead singer from a band that my husband used to play in, lives up in Idaho. Very, very tippy top. I mean, like 5 miles from the Canadian border. And Bonner's Ferry. And we were supposed to go up to Idaho. They were gonna go into the studio and do some music. And then Kevin, the lead singer, had also set up two houses for Vince to put floors in, so we could go up there, we could stay a while and still be earning money. And then COVID hit, and the people were like a couple of older couples, and they didn't want anybody in their house putting floors in, so that one's been put off for we don't know how long. What am I hearing whoop whoops for? You're bringing drones. Yeah. Can you get them across the border? Or are you going to be sneaky? So anyway, I wanted to go to Idaho, and I'm like, oh man, think of all the footage I can get, and then I can do a collab with Val, and COVID. So, yeah, that's not happening, at least not this year. So, but I may sneak up over into Idaho. I do believe my summer gig, which hasn't been happening, my summer gig has been recently, the past few summers. I'm a photographer for like rodeos. It's mostly just ACTRA. ACTRA does, they do team roping, and sometimes there's barrel racing there. And so in the summertime, I go and I do these, and my boss is like, no, we're not going. Then he said, okay, well, we're going to do state finals. And I'm still not sure if we're going to do state finals, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to do the nationals. The nationals are in Reno, and I might just scoot on up from Reno into Idaho. I don't know. I'll have to see, because I don't think Idaho people want Californians there right now. Go figure. We're wonderful. So I think it's because so many people from California have been moving to Idaho. And, it's beautiful there. So, anyway, same here. It destroyed our 30 people get together this year. Yeah, it's, I'm sad, But at the same time, I've really gotten a lot done. We had this room, we called it the dog room or the garage, which it wasn't, it was an actual room in the house. And because we don't have a garage, it was all stacked up with boxes and everything, and the dogs slept in there, and I got that all cleaned out, and I've got it set up for the grandkids. Now there's beds in there and toys, and I'm about ready to paint it. So I actually accomplished some things because I haven't been going out and about and doing much. But I would still like to have been able to travel more. All special events have been canceled this year in Reno. Yeah, okay. Well, poo. There goes that money. So yeah, it's. I really like how Nevada's really taken the bull by the horns. Yeah, I guess no money for me, no trip to Reno, rats. So anyway, I don't have anything else. You guys have anything you want to say? I always get to about the 45-minute mark. I never quite make it to an hour. Can't have my American friends crossing the border. Yeah. You know, we haven't gotten this thing under control, and I don't blame Canada for not wanting us up here. There. So yeah, I think there's this independence in Americans, which is a good thing. But you have a lot of people, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to wear a mask, or I'm not going to do this. And so we don't have the good numbers that Europe's seeing and Canada's seeing. Yeah, if you do, well, I'll be in there watching you, because I love Roger Paloozas. But, no Val on that one. So, well, I think I'm going to sign off. I should have done more travel trivia things. I know you're sad, Kim. Yeah, it's kind of a rough time. Do you think Andrew and Xenia will come? Will you get all of the local Canadians if you do it? Yeah, I think it's going to last for quite a while, Elf Lord. I think I have my rights, and yeah, we do have rights, but when it comes to something like this, I'm perfectly willing to put on that little mask. And I understand the mask doesn't protect me, it protects my breath. I realize that, the virus is very small, but the virus travels in the moisture in your mouth, and that's not small, and that gets caught inside the mask. So I'm willing to give up the not wearing a mask thing to try to bring this under control. Thank you, Elf Lord. You guys, you all stay safe, have fun, and I will see you again soon. Bye.